Hello everyone and welcome back to Arctic Retro. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the Norwegian microcomputer from the 80s. I made a couple of videos about this machine a long time ago, all in the beginning of my channel, and I went through it, and I have another machine that actually works, and I did some restoration on it. But this time I got another model and a monitor with it, so let's take a look at it. So the TIKI 100 is a Norwegian produced computer. It's an 8-bit machine. It has 64 kilobytes of RAM and a built-in floppy disk drive. Besides that, I'm going to come back to the details about this machine. I got it recently for free, and with it came this Norwegian monitor, and it's a composite video monitor. I don't know if it's a color or monochrome, probably monochrome. So this machine, as I said, was designed and produced in Norway, and it was funded by the Norwegian government and was mainly used in schools for teaching computer and programming, much like the program in the UK with the BBC machines. Both the machine and the monitor is untested. I have absolutely no idea if anything is working or not, but that's what we're going to figure out in this video. And I guess there will be more than one video about this machine. I'm starting this first episode just taking a look at it and opening it up and see if we need to do anything before I turn it on. There's a built-in power supply. There can be REFA capacitors that can blow up. It says here 400K, and I think that means that it has a 400K floppy drive. Yeah, this cover has fallen down. This video is sponsored by PCBWay. In my videos I often have the need for some PCBs for my projects, and my favorite PCB manufacturer is of course PCBWay. If you need to have produced your own PCBs, then just head over to PCBWay, where you can upload your Gerber files directly, or you can choose from a wide variety of ready-made PCB designs. PCBWay can also support you in your other hobbyist needs, like 3D printing, CNC machining, sheet metal fabrication, injection molding, and other services. Also visit their shared project site, where you can find a lot of already made PCB designs. So go ahead and visit PCBWay.com and check out their services. The monitor, Norwegian, I'm gonna Google it later, but looks to be fairly simple. It only has two connectors. It's a video input and output, and it's a high and 75 ohm selector. Norwegian model 12700, made in Taiwan. Yes, quite yellowed, as you can see. I'm gonna put this aside for now, because this computer is actually capable of outputting RGB video and several other formats, so I can actually hook it up to my modern TV. Yeah, as you can see, the machine is very large and it's quite heavy. It has a big power supply, and the motherboard inside, as we will see, it's quite large because it has the whole graphic system implemented in only TTL logic chips, and it has in fact quite high resolution bitmap graphics. Yeah, this case, I think it's just fiberglass that's been painted. It says Sand, and I think that is the name of the school that this was at. And if that is true, then that is quite near my hometown. Let's check out the ports in the back. It has regular RF output, UHF channel 36. It has PAL video, I guess that's a regular composite video, 1 volt peak to peak. It has TTL RGB. Negative sync. It has regular analog RGB, 1 volt peak to peak, and it has audio output. Power button, a fuse. Over here is RS-232, 2 ports, and that's a printer port over there. And here it says it's number 6060-5225, and it says TIKI Data AS, Oslo, Norway. Under the machine there's a label, and this label is on all these machines. I think the one I have is model 2 or 3. However, this is revision C model 7. The machine has a Z80 microprocessor, and thus it can run CPM, but it actually came with a special operating system called TIKI, which was actually a clone of CPM. And it also included BBC Basic and a Commodore programming language. It is possible to extend this with a 8088 extension card and run MS-DOS. I have never done that. One of the latest revisions, the Model D of this TIKI machine that was produced, actually came with a built-in 8088 from Intel, and thus it could run both CPM and MS-DOS, because it was then IBM PC compatible. Here's an ad from 1984, and here it says if you order this before 1st of October, you get this package here for 12,860 Norwegian kroner and 1,300 euros or dollars. In today's money, I don't know, maybe 100,000 NOK, I don't know. So it was quite expensive, and yeah, like the C64 costed like 2,000 to 3,000 at that time. But as I said, it was mainly used in schools. I don't think a lot of private people bought this actually. I have a lot of floppy disks for this machine, so it's going to be interesting to see if that works. But it's possible and quite easy to hook up a Gotek floppy disk emulator to this. I've done it before, so that's something I'm going to try again. And also I think the machine needs a little bit of recapping, so yeah, I just need to figure out what all the caps I need and see if I have them at hand. The machine is powered directly from mains, and before I hook it up to mains, I'm gonna open it up and take a look inside. Oh, I think it weighs at least 8 to 10 kilograms. A solid metal foundation and quite heavy fiberglass case. Yeah, there's a bunch of screws around here. The machine is quite powerful, but it was underutilized back in the day. Mostly it was educational software written for it and programming, and not a lot of games. I remember that my own elementary school back home, they got this machine the year after I finished the school, and that was in 1986. So I never experienced this machine at school, but by then I already had a Commodore 64, so I was way ahead of that anyway. I remember my brother, who is 2 years younger than me, he had to use this machine at school. However, he was already accustomed to the Commodore 64 too, so it was quite boring. Let's see if we can get this out. It seems to be stuck over here. So here we have it. Oh, it's quite dirty and dusty. It has a fan, and it's quite dusty. Everything needs to be cleaned, full of crap down here. And that's the power supply, and yes, I see 1, 2 refas at least, and then some electrolytes. So for sure I'm gonna replace those refas right away before I turn this on. Oh, some white dust. I don't know where this was stored after it got decommissioned. It was actually Kjell or Koiro, or with the Koiro Retro Innovations channel, that found these, and he got hold of several machines, and I got to keep this one for free, so thanks Kjell. If you want to see another retro computer channel, which is perhaps a little bit more deep technically, you should check out Koiro's Retro Innovations. The keyboard is very dirty, but it's quite good to type on. Lots of crap And here you see part of the motherboard, and it has a lot of TTL logic chips, and yeah, as I said, the whole graphics system is, let me call it homemade from logic chips, and it actually has 32 kilobytes of RAM for the graphics, and the computer RAM is 64K and it has a 8K ROM. So the whole machine needs a good cleaning, and before I do that, I'm actually going to take out the power supply and replace those refas, or at least remove them. Yeah, and this fan, it's actually what you call it in English. It's permanently fixed to the plate, no screws. So if I'm going to take this out, I need to drill out those nails first. Alright, let's get on with it then. The power supply it doesn't have screws, it's just fixed with these plastic clips that you squeeze in. Yeah, this powers the machine and the hard drive, I mean the floppy drive. You can actually hook up a hard drive to this, but I've never attempted that. Yeah. But the fan, it's soldered in. Yeah, why not? Yeah, it looks like a fairly modern power supply from that age, and it probably has several voltages, 5 and 12 volt at least. And here's the two refas. They don't look cracked, but if I have the correct values with the modern plastic capacitors, I'm going to replace them anyway. I said there was two refas, but in fact there's two more there. These are connected in series, I guess. Let me just desolder the wire for the fan. Oh, it's quite black here. You see under the... Yeah, I don't know what that is. I think it's a big resistor. It's quite black. It has had some heat. Yeah, it's free. Now I'm gonna take it down to the garage and blow it free of dust. Yeah, I blew it off and I'm gonna take a further look at it. But first, I'm just gonna remove the refa caps, no matter what, even if I don't have replacements. They are for filtering noise out of the power supply to the grid. And then I'm gonna measure them just to check if it still has the correct value. And the values of these are, there's two 0.068 microfarad and 1/6800 picofarad. I mean two. So it's been bent. I wonder why they did this. I mean, there's a clear marking for one capacitor there. Instead they fed the wire over here to that resistor. I don't know if you can see it. Then we have this, and this doesn't look good. I can see it's been burning quite hot. I see the area there when it shines through the light. I see it's bulging a little bit, so I think it's delaminated or something. And what's behind there? Well, it's this one. And it seems like it actually melted into this capacitor here. I'm going to desolder this, take a look at what it is. But first, let's take a look at these capacitors. I mean, there's a little bit of crack in the plastic, but not as bad as I have seen. So I'm guessing these are still good, but better safe than sorry. Let's see what the capacitance is. Yeah, it's 60.6 nanofarad. Let's try this one. Yeah, it's the same, it's 58.9, so they're not that off. Yeah, I'm gonna take out this resistor. It doesn't look good. This might be a showstopper. Maybe this power supply is damaged. Hopefully not. It smells awful when that area gets some heat. Oh yeah, it's completely burnt. It's burnt through. Oh, that's a carnage. Yeah, it's burnt through the top layer. Seems to be some, I don't know, metal layer in the middle, and that capacitor has gotten some burns. I'm gonna remove that too. Oh yes. Yeah, so this one suffered a little bit of damage from its neighbor. Might still be good. I'm not really sure what kind of component this is. I think it's a capacitor. It says 33NJ630. Well, let me see if it registers as a capacitor. Yeah, 24 nanofarad. 33NJ, so it's probably supposed to be 33. Probably still good. I'm probably gonna buy the correct capacitors to install from TIKI or someplace, so just as well replace this too then. It seems like it's cracked in the middle. Gonna check the resistance. Oh yeah, it's in the 100 mega ohms. So this one is dead. It's burnt off. Yeah, it looks like there's a hole in it. There's a hole there and this black stuff going over there. Can we crack it open? No. Alright then, this power supply is dead. Question is, can it be fixed? Or can it be replaced with something else? I think it's only 5 and 12 volts. It only has 2 voltage regulators. I mean, this area is burnt, but it can be repaired, obviously. Looks like that trace has been burnt away. Yeah. This one is intact. But this one is burnt away. Over here it is connected. Yeah, but still I need to find the correct resistor for that. And that resistor is an old timer. I have a bunch of power resistors, but still need to know its value. I don't think I have seen the schematics for this machine, so it's hard to figure out what it's supposed to be, but I have that other working machine, so I might have to open that and actually measure the resistor, if it's the same power supply. Strangely enough, there's no fuse on this power supply. However, there is a fuse in the cabinet of the machine, so we can obviously take a look at that, see if it's blown. I mean, with that kind of heat and current going through that resistor, you should think some fuse would have blown. How about the fuse? No, fuse is good. I've asked on the Norwegian TIKI 100 Facebook group if anyone knows about any schematics for the power supply, or if they know the value of that resistor. But while waiting for that, there's still a lot more we can explore here, and I'm gonna start by removing the floppy disk drive and the whole metal shield over the motherboard. I already removed the 2 front screws, and now it should be just to tilt it up like that, and that reveals the biggest motherboard I have ever seen in any microcomputer. It's quite much bigger than the 128D that I have. And funnily enough, a little speaker keyboard is soldered in, I think, or does it have a detachable connector? It might have, and it's quite dusty. And we have the connector for the floppy drive. Luckily it's a regular old 34-pin floppy drive connector, and that makes it easy to connect the GoTech to the machine. The hardware quality on this, well, it's a little bit flimsy. The motherboard is quite thin and flexible, and it's just fastened with these plastic clips. The keyboard, it just sits like this on top of some cardboard that has been taped. But besides that, it's quite a sturdy machine. Yeah, this is the big motherboard. As you can see, it has 4 large expansion ports. This is the Z80 CPU, and here's a Z80 I/O chip. I guess that's a floppy disk controller, Mostek 8408, Z80 CTC, ROM. The ROM version is 203. And over here, I think this is the main computer side of it. And over here we have the graphics side of it. And this is all made by 74 TTL logic chips, a lot of those. Yeah, and that's the audio chip. It's an AI3 8921. No, it's an AI3 8912A. Few capacitors here, but not a lot. One crystal there and one crystal over on the other side. So there is a lot of free space on this board, and it could probably have been reduced quite a lot in size, and maybe they should have considered an external keyboard, but or a smaller keyboard. But it's quite impressive what they did back in the day in Norway. I really want to take off this keyboard. Yeah, and I have never seen a computer that has styrofoam inside it. And these keys, I guess they're, yeah, I don't know what kind these are, but easy enough to take off the keycaps just with your finger, so it can be cleaned real good. But for now I'm gonna take the whole thing down to my garage like it is now and just blow off everything, and that should improve it quite significantly. This is better. I cleaned up the monster motherboard, well, the machine. So now it looks great. I didn't take off the keycaps yet. I'm going to do that later. So what can I do with this power supply? I actually found the technical manual for the machine. It didn't have any details about the power supply, but I know that it provides plus and minus 12 volts and plus 5 volts. And I asked on the Facebook group, and the one guy replied he just measured this resistor on his own machine, and it is supposed to be 22 kilo ohms. Now I don't have such a resistor, but I do have these. That's two 12k resistors, and if I put them in series, that's going to be 24k, and I think that's good enough, hopefully. I'm going to solder in this cap and the resistors, and then I'm going to test if the power supply even works. For some reason this resistor got very hot, so it might be because of something else has failed on this. Before I solder in the resistor, I'm cleaning this area up. I'm going to tin it with some solder to strengthen it. Yes, and the whole trace here has lifted from the board, obviously, because it's burnt through the PCB. So I'm essentially just making a little bit thicker with some solder. Then I just solder together the two resistors. Yeah, I simply use the cap, it's still good. And the resistor. Yes. Since the pad is gone, I'm just bending it down like this. Yeah, that's alright. I'm also gonna solder back these refas. They look very good. There isn't any cracks or anything, and I don't have the correct replacement, so... Yeah, if that was the only issue, then this might work. So I'm taking a chance here. I'm a little bit nervous. I'm gonna hook it up to mains. I didn't connect it to the computer. I'm just gonna measure the output voltages. So I'm gonna stand a little bit away here and just turn it on, see what happens. Yeah, not much happened. It is on now. Just gonna let it be on for a while, see if anything starts smoking or anything like that. I don't feel any heat or anything from it. Yeah, let me just measure some voltages. It seems to be alive now. That's the ground pin, and there we should have minus 12. It's minus 9, and there should be 5. It's 5.4, and there should be plus 12, and it's 9.8. Yeah, it actually works. A little bit low on the 12 volts, but I don't know, it's not under load now, so... I mean, the reason that the resistor burnt up might be that it was loaded too heavily. It's supposed to power up the machine, 2 floppy disk drives and a couple of other peripherals at the same time. Maybe something's wrong in the machine that it actually shorts out. I'm gonna connect it to the machine now. That resistor is not warm, the regulators not warm, but obviously it has no load. Obviously it's off now. I don't connect the floppy drive yet. Okay, let's see now. Oh, it's humming. The speaker is humming. And I heard a beep. Let me check the voltages now. Yeah, now it's 12.5. The 5 volt is 5.2 and the plus 12 is 12.9. Yeah, this works. Great. The humming from the speaker might be because of the power supply is just close to it now. It's supposed to have a metal shield over. Alrighty then, I'm gonna hook it up to the TV, see if we get any picture on the screen. Just gonna use the composite out. Yeah, I actually smell a little bit of like electronics smell now, like hot electronics. Might just be dust burning somewhere. Turn it on, see if we get anything. Oh yeah, yes we do. TIKI 100 monitor version 203. Nice. Obviously the text is in Norwegian. This is a Norwegian machine. It says insert a TIKI floppy disk and then press B. Yeah, keyboard seems to be working, although it doesn't do anything, but I see the cursor. Yeah. Nice. Okay, that's good. I'm gonna let it run now for a while, see if anything bad happens to the power supply, if it gets too warm or anything like that. It's been a while and nothing gets hot here, in fact. But then again, I didn't connect the floppy drive, and that probably draws a little bit of current in use. In fact, I do have a backup plan. I have this power supply. It provides the correct voltages, and I was thinking about using this if this one didn't work. The resistor that I replaced, yeah, it gets quite warm. but it's not overly hot. Hopefully it can stand the current. It's time to take a look at the floppy disk drive, and I have temporarily attached the power supply back into the machine again. Also cleaned up this whole area and the fan. I didn't attach the fan yet, but I don't know if the floppy disk drive is working. I have a couple of diskettes. Let's first see if we get any light or sound from the drive. Yes, red light, and I hear spinning. Here's a 400K floppy disk. It says TIKI data, KUD, and KUD was the Department of Education back in the day. Let's try it. Oh, it's kind of strange mechanism. You need to push to lock the disk in. Let's try again. Yes, it loads. Nice. It loaded from A. Let's run a dir. Okay, it says read error. Yeah. So maybe we're not that lucky. Well, no, it didn't boot even, so I guess my luck was short-lived. Or maybe it needs some cleaning or some other adjustment. I try another disk. This one, I know for sure I used it before on the other machine. It contains a copy program and a formatting program and a Python game. Nope. By the way, checking that resistor, it's getting quite hot. It's around 70 degrees Celsius, so nope, couldn't load a single floppy disk of the ones I have. So yeah, it's time to take it out and see if it needs a little bit of servicing. There's 4 screws under here. Oh, it's quite heavy. The drive looks fine. I did blow off the dust before, but it doesn't look any dirty or worn at all. However, could be the read-write head, but it was kind of strange that it worked a little bit. There's no belt, it's a direct drive mechanism. Stepping motor, what kind of brand is it? It's an Epson SD521 from Japan. The head assembly slides easily. Well, I'm gonna clean the head with some IPA. No, it wasn't particularly dirty. I just used a little bit of silicone spray on the rails here. Stepper motor and that stuff looks alright. Let's see if that changed anything. The head did move back when I turned on the machine, and I heard some ticking, but it stopped. Let's see what happens. No, it doesn't start searching. I mean, the head doesn't move, but the motor spins and the disc spins. Okay, it didn't release. Oh my god. The disc is stuck. Oops. I think I need to do a little bit of lubrication over there. But why did the head move when I first turned it on the first time? Then it stopped working. Now if I push the head forward, insert the disc, press B. No, it doesn't initialize. However, if I turn off the machine and then turn it on, yeah, you see, it moved, but it's not loading. Well, it has a fault. It could be the drive, it could be the computer as well. The floppy disk controller, stuff like that. But often on faulty floppy disk drives, it can be bad capacitors, like these small electrolytes. There's a couple of tantalums as well. Let's see if any of those are shorted. No. These small here. I'm not sure if I'm reaching the pins. Nothing shorted. Anyway, I think I'm gonna replace those electrolytes. Obviously, I can test if a drive works in the machine by using the GoTech, but then I need to find some disk images to download and stuff like that. So I'll try this first. Well, it has a long pinned connector down there. Oh. How about the LED? Oh, it's stuck there. How do I get it out? Yeah, just desolder the wire. Now this is free. Just need to figure out what the capacitors are and if I have them. Yeah, there's 3 of a 10 microfarad 60 volts and one 0.1 microfarad 50 volt. I have the caps 0.1 and these are 10 microfarad. However, these are a little bit high, so I'm not sure if they're gonna be too high. Well, anyway, I'm gonna replace them quickly and then I'll be back. I removed the caps and, well, I think they have leaked, at least some of them. Look how gray the solder joints were, and they were quite difficult to desolder and remove the solder. Very gray, and over to that diode there as well. So I think I'm just gonna clean up those pads over here as well with some vinegar. I took way too much. This is 32% vinegar. It's made for cleaning. So just add a little vinegar there and let it work its magic for a few minutes. Of course, you shouldn't leave vinegar too long because it's starting to eat away the metal. Just testing the old caps. This one's supposed to be 10 microfarad, but it's not. It's 4,300 nanofarads. This one also supposed to be 10 microfarad. It's 73 nanofarads. So they're way off the values. Probably gone. Yes, and the ESR, the equivalent series resistance, it's 150 ohms. Final one is also very bad, 140 ohms resistance. Just use the fiberglass pen. I already cleaned off the vinegar now. Yeah, now they got shiny and nice. Yeah, that loosened up some blackness. Yeah, that's better. In with the new caps. A little bit long, but this one can be laid down on his back like that. This one too. And this one can't lie down. Yeah, that will work. All right, new caps. Let's see if it works now. Yes, that capacitor is in the way of the of the head movement, but just move it over there. Yeah, now it's good. There is a PCB on the other side, the underside, that has to do with the motor and stuff. It could have capacitors too that are bad, but for now I'm gonna test it. Yeah, now we see something. It's booting straight away. It is moving. Head is moving. At least we see it started to load KPM, but it finds there's an error, read error still. I tried again and it came a little bit further, still loading. I'll try another one. Yes, that loaded quickly. And we have the prompt. What is it? Catalog? Cat, no. Dir? Yes, look. We have the directory. So there's a few commands here and some data files. So what we have logo, we have copy program, cat. You can go to 40 columns mode by typing 40. Oh, it's struggling a little bit. No, it says read error. So it's trying, but maybe it's some alignment issue. Not really sure how to test that or correct it on these old drives. I tried another one, it booted straight away. Yeah, here we have 40 command as well. Nah, it seems like it's able to read the directory and boot, maybe in the first part of the floppy disk, but then it struggles. Nope, it simply won't read more than the initial boot sector and then the directory. So with regards to the power supply, I've ordered all the necessary caps and also the necessary caps on the motherboard. There aren't many there, but still I'm gonna replace it. So one thing we can do to check if it's an alignment issue is to see if we can format a floppy disk successfully and read it back. However, that depends if I can run the format command. I'm not really sure if this is... yeah, it's a program on the actual disk. Ny plate. So if it can't load that, that means I'm unable to format anything. So there's an alignment possibility for the head assembly and also the speed control of the drive. It should be 300 RPM, but not able to load a new plate, which means new disk, which is the format command. The head seems to be moving all the way when it encounters an error like this. Read error. You know what? I think that fixed it when the drive suddenly it started to move the head back and forth all the way, and now I could run the copy program. Let's see if I can run the format program. Sorry, the machine is covering what I'm writing because it's all the way down. Yes. Ha! No, it actually reads it. Nice. Here I have an empty disk. See if we can format that. Okay, it's formatting. It's kind of quick too. Spor means track. More? No. Yeah, no, it worked. Now I can take a look at the newly formatted disk, but it doesn't have any commands, I think. I don't know, but at least it loads KPM. Let me try and copy the other disk. That's raw copy. It means raw copy. Okay, from disk in A and then return. It's quite fast compared to like the 1541 on the Commodores. And then change to the destination. It only reads 7 tracks at a time. That eject mechanism is a little bit bad. Switch again. You need to push it fast and hard. Writing is quite slower. And the last, that was 4 swaps or 5. Nope. Okay, now let's see if it boots and contains the same content. Yes, it does. Nice. So here we have basic, but I want to test that the Python game. Yeah, everything works nice. Classic snake game in text mode. Oh, bummer. The eject mechanism is a little bit bad. I tried to lubricate it a little bit, just spray a little bit of... There's a lot of moving parts here. Yeah, that was it. Oh, it works very nicely. Cool. So the floppy drive seems to be working nicely. It only needed a little bit of movement to, to get going, and yeah, that's how it is sometimes. Mechanical pieces that has been sitting idle for years and years, they can get a little bit stuck, and with some movement and lubrication they start moving again. So now I'm just gonna wait for the new caps to arrive from TIKI, and I was thinking about it, the reason that resistor got very warm and hot and still is. It seems now like it's not overly hot. Those kinds of resistors, they can easily withstand 200 degrees. But it has a plastic capacitor nearby it, so I don't think it's good that it gets too warm. But maybe some of the other caps are a little bit off too, and that might cause some instability or something. So now I'm gonna wait a couple of days for the capacitors to arrive from TIKI, and then I'll be back.